Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Good American Family. Imogen Reid on that devastating switch to Natalia Grace's perspective. The first 4 episodes of Good American Family are intentionally designed to keep viewers on the Barnett's side and fully sympathetic to Christine's Ellen Pompeo suspicion that Natalia Grace, Imogen Reid, is a dangerous adult woman masquerading as a child to infiltrate and harm their family. Even the cinematography and musical mixes have horror bends at key moments. Seeing Natalia get dropped off at an apartment away from the boys at the end of episode 4 brings a rush of relief. The fact that Christine and Michael, Mark Duplass, continue to financially provide for her seems like an exceedingly altruistic move on their part too. However, the second half of the show, beginning with episode 5, flips the narrative entirely and continues the events through Natalia Grace's eyes. Here, we see what has since been proven to be scientifically true. This really is just an 8-year-old child with severe physical limitations and chronic pain who is abandoned to fend for herself by her adoptive parents. Worse, the story depicts Natalia's allegations that she is being emotionally and even physically abused by her mother and has no one else to turn to for help in her darkest hours. This week's episode, Too Hurty Without It, finds Natalia trying to survive in a new home by herself. She doesn't know how to use a can opener, so she's reduced to eating freeze-dried pasta right out of the box. The power goes out, so she loses her cartoons, the only thing she has to entertain herself with, and the food in the fridge starts to rot and stink. She can't even turn on the rusted bathtub faucet to wash herself. When she cuts her hand with a knife while desperately trying to open a can of peaches, her yelp is so devastating it'll make any parent watching want to reach through the screen to comfort her. We've spent 4 episodes becoming convinced she's an orphan-style monster, but here, we learn just how helpless and fragile she is. The fact that this is all based on a true story makes it even more heartbreaking to watch. There's one fleeting moment of hope for Natalia amid all the struggle here. She meets a neighbor, played by Jane Addams, who is kind enough, letting her use her phone and introducing her to her grandson who is Natalia's real age, though the neighbor somehow buys her story of being 22. Things spiral from bad to worse, though, when Natalia joins the boy on a bus trip in hopes of showing him her parents' home and finds they no longer live there. The kids are then lost in the middle of the night, and her neighbor is incensed when they finally make it back. Natalia is quickly kicked out of the apartment and sent by Christine to a second-story place where she struggles to get up the stairs, while the Barnetts cut off all contact and grocery provisions and move to Canada. The whole episode is a very hard watch, but it's also extremely effective in reframing the story as Good American Family intends. TV Insider caught up with Imogen Reid to talk about her portrayal of this gutting moment in Natalia's life. Imogen Reid: "Oh yeah, it was a little taxing for me. I mean, I knew going into this episode that there'd be a lot of hours on set, and this was my first big role, so I was pretty daunted by it. I knew it'd be physically and emotionally just hard, but the support I had around all of that just made it so worthwhile. Everybody was so supportive. We were all in it together, and it was a really memorable episode for me for sure. It was something that I was keeping in mind throughout playing Natalia, but I pretty much decided early on that I wanted to do my own version of Natalia as an actor. And with that, especially in my character's POV, I wanted to spread so much empowerment into her character and make sure that she feels seen, and just for her voice to be heard, and I hope that does come across. Yeah, I think there is a lot of controversy around this topic, especially in the tabloids and in the media. And I think it is important when we show Natalia's side, that she was a child and kind of shut those rumors down.
Yeah,
I
think
really
that's important.
love this scene because we really got to see Natalia as she is as a child and to be with somebody her own age. And I love the scene where they play the 2 truths, 1 lie game, and she says, No, I'm 8, just like you. And it's the first time actually saying her age. I am an 8-year-old like you. I mean, of course, it does go south after that, but I really loved that scene, because I think we really need to see Natalia as a child. And also it brought light to that episode. I really did love playing with Natalia's playfulness. Yeah, it was hard, really difficult. I mean, really difficult for Ellen and I. And it was so stressful for the both of us, because doing a scene like that was just horrendous. And playing opposite Ellen in that scene was horrendous because I love Ellen so much. But like I say, the support was amazing that day. And I think in that scene, Natalia is just desperate to do whatever Christine wants. I'll do whatever you want, because this is still her mom, so she just wants to cling on to her mom. And no matter how abusive she is towards her, that's that bond that she has now. And yeah, that scene was so intense, but the support was amazing. Everybody was incredible, and yeah, it's gonna be hard, I think, for viewers to watch. But the support we had was really special. As we swiftly move on to my POV, I don't think fans know the story, and they don't know what's going to hit them, and that's gonna be so confusing for them, I think. Just to stay on the ride and just keep going. Mark and Ellen put it so amazingly when we've done press together. Ellen, I remember, said me and Ellen could watch something and have completely different views on what we've just watched, and I think that's what our show does so well. But I think the one takeaway from my POV is just not to judge somebody so quickly and to be open. And we are so lucky to tell such unique stories, and it's amazing that we were able to do a show that really showcases inclusivity.